Episode 33. The Witness. The fluorescent lights hummed overhead, casting harsh shadows across the cardiac surgery lab where Catherine Morrison had once worked. Alex stood frozen, her breath shallow, as Gerald Pemberton spread photographs across the stainless steel counter. Images from 30 years ago, grainy but damning. March 12, 1995, Gerald said, his gaunt finger tapping the first photo. The night everything changed. The image showed a young Catherine Morrison, her mother, barely 25, her face illuminated by streetlights outside what appeared to be a hospital loading dock. She was talking to someone just out of frame, her expression tense. "Your mother was working late," Gerald continued. "Research assistant to Dr. Helena Marsh. Brilliant work on pediatric cardiac procedures. My brother Daniel was a surgical resident. Charming, ambitious, completely incompetent." Alex's phone buzzed in her pocket, Marcus probably, or Detective Okonkwo checking in. She ignored it. Outside this room, her support team waited, but in here, she needed the truth. What did she witness? Gerald's smile was cold. "My brother killed a patient that night. 17-year-old girl named Emma Richardson. Simple valve replacement. Daniel was drunk. 3 whiskeys at the hospital bar, celebrating some imagined triumph. He went into surgery anyway." He pulled out another photo. A young Daniel Pemberton, handsome and confident, standing beside an operating table. Emma died on the table, massive hemorrhaging from a severed artery. Daniel panicked, tried to cover it up, made it look like natural complications. Gerald's voice cracked slightly. "But your mother was there. She'd come down to retrieve some equipment and saw him stumbling out of the OR, blood on his scrubs, reeking of alcohol." Alex felt sick. She reported it? She tried. Gerald pulled out a document, a hospital incident report dated March 13, 1995, signed by Catherine Morrison. She filed this the next morning, detailed everything she'd observed. Daniel's intoxication, the errors during surgery, the cover-up. What happened? The hospital buried it. Gerald's hands trembled as he arranged more documents. Daniel's father was Lord Pemberton, major hospital donor. The chief of surgery made the report disappear. Threatened Catherine's career if she spoke publicly, so she kept quiet. Alex's mind reeled. But that doesn't make her an accessory to murder. Not yet. Gerald's eyes glittered. That came 6 months later, September 1995. My sister Sarah, not Sarah Pemberton who met you at the Painted Bridge, but my actual sister, Sarah Pemberton, who died, she was Daniel's next victim. He placed another photo on the counter. A young woman, maybe 22, with Gerald's same sharp features softened by youth and hope. Sarah had a congenital heart defect, needed surgery. Daniel volunteered to do it. He wanted to prove himself after the Emma Richardson incident, show everyone he was competent. Gerald's voice broke. "Your mother knew. She knew Daniel had killed Emma. She knew he was drunk and incompetent. And when she found out he was operating on my sister, she said nothing." "Why?" Alex whispered. "Because the hospital had leverage. They'd discovered Catherine had shared research notes with Julia Hartwell, notes that technically belonged to Dr. Marsh and the university. If Catherine exposed Daniel, they'd expose her for academic misconduct, end her career before it started." Gerald pulled out Catherine's journal, the one stolen from Richard's home. He opened it to a page dated September 18, 1995. "I saw Daniel Pemberton's name on the surgery schedule today. He's operating on a young woman named Sarah Pemberton. I know what I should do. I know what's right. But if I speak up, they'll destroy me. They'll say I stole research. They'll make sure I never work in medicine again. God forgive me. I'm going to stay silent." Alex's legs weakened. She gripped the counter for support. "Sarah died during surgery," Gerald said flatly. "Complications from Daniel's incompetence. He severed an artery, just like with Emma Richardson. But this time, the hospital was ready. They had a story prepared. Natural complications. Unavoidable tragedy. My parents believed them. Everyone believed them. Except you. I was a medical student at Edinburgh. I knew Daniel. I knew what he was capable of." Gerald's jaw clenched. "I started investigating. Found Emma Richardson's family. Found the buried incident report. Found Catherine's name on it." He pulled out more documents. Years of meticulous research. Connecting dots across decades. "I confronted your mother in 1998. Told her I knew she'd witnessed Emma's death and said nothing before Sarah died. She broke down, confessed everything, the threats, the leverage, the impossible choice. What did she do? She promised to make it right, said she'd gather evidence, expose Daniel properly, accept whatever consequences came. Gerald's expression softened slightly. She spent 6 months documenting everything. Daniel's drinking, his surgical errors, the hospital's cover-ups. She was going to resign from medicine and go public. Alex thought of her mother's journal entries from early 1999, the ones Richard had shown her. The meetings with journalists. The decision to expose everything. But she died, Alex said, March 15th, 1999, the day before she was supposed to meet with a Guardian reporter. Gerald's eyes met hers. Your father claims heart attack. I claim murder. You think Daniel killed her? I think someone did. Maybe Daniel. Maybe the hospital. Maybe your father, protecting his precious firm. Gerald's voice turned bitter. Catherine's autopsy was rushed. No toxicology screen. Cremated within 48 hours. Very convenient. Alex's phone buzzed again. This time she pulled it out. A text from Marcus. Everything okay? Okonkwo getting nervous. She typed back. 5 more minutes. So you spent 30 years planning revenge, Alex said. I spent 30 years seeking justice. Gerald's correction was sharp. I became a medical ethics researcher. Published papers on surgical negligence, hospital cover-ups, the failures of self-regulation. I found other victims. Families destroyed by incompetent doctors, protected by institutions. Margaret Hayes. Her sister Claire was one of Daniel's victims. Died in 2009 from a botched valve replacement. The same procedure he'd stolen from your mother's research. The same procedure he'd never properly learned because he'd stolen the technique without understanding the underlying principles. Gerald gathered the photos, arranging them chronologically. I found Victoria Hartwell, Thomas Vale, Rebecca Chen, Emma Wright, all people with legitimate grievances against you, against your family, against the systems that protect people like Daniel. I didn't manipulate them. I gave them information, connected them, let their rage find direction. You orchestrated everything. I revealed truths. Gerald's tone was defensive. Victoria deserved to know that your mother destroyed her mother's career. Thomas deserved to know that your cousin Caroline left him because your family thought he wasn't good enough. Rebecca deserved to know that Marcus Ashford was using her. Emma deserved to know that Marcus would never commit. You exploited vulnerable people. I empowered victims. Gerald slammed his hand on the counter. Do you know how many people Daniel Pemberton has killed or maimed in 30 years? 47. 47 patients with families, with futures, with people who loved them. All because your mother chose her career over their lives. Alex felt tears burning. She was 25 years old. She was terrified. They threatened to destroy her. And 47 people are dead because she chose herself over them. Gerald's voice cracked. Including my sister. Including Margaret's sister. Including children who died because Daniel continued practicing long after he should have been stopped. The lab door opened. Detective Okonkwo stepped in, her expression tense. Time's up, Mr. Pemberton. Gerald ignored her, keeping his eyes on Alex. Your mother spent the last 4 years of her life trying to atone. She investigated Daniel. She gathered evidence. She was going to sacrifice everything to make it right. And someone murdered her for it. You have proof? I have this. Gerald pulled out one final document. A toxicology report dated March 20th, 1999. Catherine's GP ordered this privately 4 days after her death. Before the cremation, he was suspicious. Found traces of digoxin, a cardiac medication she wasn't prescribed. In sufficient doses, it mimics heart attack. Where did you get this? The GP was my mentor. He kept a copy because he suspected foul play but couldn't prove it. Gave it to me before he died in 2015. Detective Okonkwo moved closer. Mr. Pemberton, that's evidence in a potential murder investigation. You should have turned it over to police. I've been waiting for the right moment. Gerald's smile was grim. 30 years of patience. 30 years of watching Daniel receive knighthood, accolades, respect, all built on my sister's grave and Catherine Morrison's silence. He turned to Alex. Your mother tried to be a hero at the end. Tried to make the right choice. Someone killed her for it. Now you face the same choice she did. Will you expose Daniel? Will you help me prove he murdered your mother? Or will you choose the Morrison legacy over justice? Alex looked at the photos spread across the counter. Emma Richardson, 17, Sarah Pemberton, 22, Claire Hayes, 28. 47 names total, according to Gerald. 47 lives ended or destroyed by Daniel Pemberton's incompetence and her mother's silence. "I'll help you," Alex said quietly. "I'll testify about everything. The research theft, the cover-ups, all of it. Including your father's role." Alex thought of Richard in his hospital bed, broken ribs and concussion from Gerald's operative. "Including everything." Gerald nodded slowly. "Then perhaps the Morrison legacy can be redeemed after all." Detective Okonkwo stepped forward. "Gerald Pemberton, I'm arresting you for conspiracy to commit assault, stalking, harassment, and conspiracy to pervert the course of justice." As Okonkwo read him his rights, Gerald kept his eyes on Alex. "The toxicology report proves murder. Find out who killed your mother, Alexandra. Find out who had the most to lose from her confession." "My father?" Alex whispered. "Or Daniel? Or the hospital administrators? Or all of them together?" Gerald's expression was almost sympathetic as Okonkwo handcuffed him. 30 years of secrets. 30 years of cover-ups. Someone will do anything to keep them buried. As they led him away, Alex stood alone in the lab where her mother had worked, where she'd made the impossible choice that had haunted her remaining years. The photos remained on the counter, evidence of decades of harm, of institutional failure, of one young woman's terror leading to catastrophic consequences. Her phone buzzed. "Marcus, please tell me you're okay." Alex typed, "Coming out now. Need to see my father." Because if Gerald was right, if Catherine had been murdered, then Richard Morrison knew more than he'd revealed. And Alex needed to know if her father was a grieving widower or an accomplice to murder. The lab lights flickered as she gathered the documents, the photos, the evidence of 3 decades of secrets. Outside, Marcus and Margaret waited. The 43 families waited. Justice waited. But first, Alex needed to confront the man who'd raised her, who'd protected the Morrison legacy, who'd convinced her mother to stay silent all those years ago. And she needed to ask him the question that terrified her most. Did you kill her? The morning was coming. Daniel Pemberton's arrest was imminent. The truth was emerging. But the final revelation, the answer to who murdered Catherine Morrison, remained locked in her father's hospital room, in his memories, in the secrets he'd kept for 30 years. Alex walked out of the lab, into the cold November night, toward answers that might destroy what remained of her family. But this time, unlike her mother, she wouldn't stop until the complete truth was exposed, no matter who it destroyed.
Thanks for watching our stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic adventures. Thanks for watching our stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic adventures.